Okay, thank you. So, Brain4Energy is a smart controller for large buildings that reduce energy consumption and carbon footprint of buildings by up to 30%, 30 or 40% without any building retrofitting. Why is important? Buildings are responsible for 40% of global carbon emissions, and landlords face a pressure from government and financial institutes that forces them to reduce energy consumption and carbon footprint. Current way to reduce carbon footprint is building retrofitting that is costly and time-consuming and may cause operational pauses and income losses. Brain4Energy offers a CapEx-free software solution that reduces energy consumption by up to 40%. And how Brain4Energy works? First, you need to connect your building to our cloud. Then we take all the data from your building management system, data like about temperature, aerostatic pressure, data from parameters, methods, data about CO2 levels, so on and so forth. And based on this data, we built a predictive model of the building in completely automatic way. And then we use this predictive model to optimally control the HVAC system of the building in order to keep comfort inside and minimize power consumption, carbon footprint. And we take into account weather conditions, energy prices, occupancy to provide more precise operations. Our business model is annual subscription. Average price per square foot is about 10 cents per square foot annually. And we found that we sold our portfolio of the buildings, so average service fee is about $1 million annually. And we estimate our lifetime is about 12 years. So our lifetime value is more than $10 million. The US market of green building technologies is about $95 billion and grows year to year more than 10%. And part connected with HVAC equipment is about $31 billion. The global market is several times bigger. We try different strategies, and we found that two strategies works well for us. First, selling through partners networks is so companies that also serve a large portfolio of buildings. And second one is the selling through smart building platforms. So we can act as a plugin for smart building platforms. And going the second way, we have managed to achieve some success. We signed our first contract, which includes 200 buildings, 80 million square foot total. And this contract will bring us about $165,000 this year and about $1 million next year. And this way, we are preparing the next contract with one of the biggest real estate companies in New York. 1 minute warning. Let's go about competitors. We can provide the same level of savings like our best competitors, but we are focusing on very fast and simple onboarding process. So we can onboard a new building in 3 days right now, comparing with several weeks competitors. So let me introduce my team. I and my co-founder Jacob, we have been working together more than 10 years. In the last 7 years, we specialize on artificial intelligence and machine learning in heavy industry, in predictive maintenance, and so on. And Alex Saltykov is our advisor.
Time is up. I'm sorry. How much money are you guys looking to raise? Which round is this for you guys?
Okay, it's seed round, and we are raising $3 million. We have some commitments, and our goal to create a scalable sales pipeline next year.
Very cool. Very cool. Let me bring in all of the invest. So you've got 200 buildings potentially in the pipeline. Then is that right? While I'm bringing in the other investors.
In signed contract. We have 200 buildings in current contract, and we have projection on next 60 buildings.
And what would that be for you guys revenue-wise if you were to close all of those? Didn't you say $1 million a building?
We should receive in this our revenue should be about 165,000 this year and about 1 million next year.
Very good, very good. Matthias, do you want to kick things off?
Yeah, happy to do so. So Glenn, thank you very much for your presentation. I have a few questions. The first question is your software and the use of it. Is it BMS agnostic, or does it work only in combination with some BMSs? Second question, I'm a little bit surprised by, I always thought a good BMS already does what your software is doing. Is this a wrong assumption on my side? And maybe related to it, in case it's a wrong assumption, how do you make sure that the BMSs don't include what your software is doing as a feature in the BMS, and then you're no longer necessary? And last question, your traction, the 200K, with whom is it? And is it a pilot, or is it already recurring revenue?
Okay. First question about, our solution is fully BMS agnostic. We can connect to the BMS API, and we can connect to underlying protocols like BACnet, Modbus, or PCOS, and so on and so forth. So now we also have installations on Johnson Controls, on Honeywell, on Siemens, on Schneider Electric BMSs. So it's fully BMS agnostic solution. About second question, it's an interesting point because I was sure that all BMSs also have such solutions, but current solutions highly depend on sensor configuration in the building. So if you would like to install some solution from Schneider, you should install first a lot of sensors and a temperature sensors, CO2 sensors, and so forth. And it's a differentiator between us and BMS vendors. We don't require installation of a lot of sensors. We prefer to work with existing equipment, existing HVAC equipment, and we recommend to install some sensors, some additional sensors, some additional hardware, also in the cases that it is completely necessary. So we can start with, we can work with a lot of different configurations of equipment. And if, for example, you choose Schneider, you need to comply with very strict requirements from Schneider in terms of hardware. And it's very costly. And excuse me, third question.
It's the traction. Is it recurring already?
Yeah,
pilots,
yeah, it's recurring. It's recurring revenue. Yeah. Our business model is an annual subscription, so we receive recurring revenue every year.
Can you share with whom it is?
Excuse me.
Can you share who is your client that provides you with the recurring revenue right now?
You can share it. You can share it off show as well if you want to share it separately with Matthias.
Yeah,
if that's
I can share, but I am not sure that. Probably I should ask permission from client.
That's fair. Yep.
Good answer. Good answer. Pivoting off of that, how did you get the clients? So what's been your sales process? What's the average sales cycle look like? How long does it take? How do you close?
Honestly, we are just developing our right sales process. We have, and most of our current connections with potential clients are from VAR network, from us and our advisor, some of our partners. So our process is usually following. We investigate if like energy reduction is important for our client, and after that we start a pilot project. Usually we need 3 or 4 months to prove our savings, and after that we sign a contract. So it's current sales cycle.
So if it's been mostly your network, how do you plan to scale that aggressively once you raise funding?
First of all, we right now we have started. We also have started outreach company, and we have managed to achieve some success in terms of communication with potential partners. We are in negotiations with different potential partners, and probably we will start at least 2 pilots this year. So it's first like channel is outreach marketing, and we are planning to start online advertising company. And my previous background is digital advertising, so I have skills to generate leads online. So I think it's doable. We received several leads from LinkedIn, from our site. So I believe we can enforce this process. I'm not sure that it should be one channel, but yeah. So,
and one last question before I hand things over. Is there any CapEx associated for buildings? Is this just AI going into their existing systems, like the building management systems mentioned, or do you need to add anything else there for monitoring?
Yeah, perfect question. For New York City market, for example, we can deploy our software in pure like software way, without any retrofitting, without any additional equipment, in 50% of buildings. And other buildings require a small upgrades, but it's not hundreds, thousands of dollars, not millions, maybe thousands of tens of thousands of dollars.
Okay, understood. Avina, do you have any questions for Glenn and the team?
Yes, yes. Okay. I think my first question, if you can walk through the existing technology, basically that you're replacing. Would love to learn more about that. Whether you have an IP for your existing, innovations that you have now, and what are the main challenges essentially. So I think I asked a number of questions there, but maybe I start with that, and I have quite a number of other questions as well.
So about technology, we decided that we should base all our software develop all our technology on AI, on machine learning, to have ability to easily adjust all models, all our software to new buildings. All buildings have different equipment, different data channels, different sensors, so on and so forth. And if you want to easily install such software on every building, you need self-adjusted software. You need something that will be will be connect to the building, take all data, mark up them, and train themselves in fully automatic way. So we have developed our machine learning models in the way that we can investigate data and train themselves and adopt themselves to every new building without any manual work. It's our key feature in terms of technology. About challenges, main challenge is the people. We constantly face with a very conservative approach from chief engineers. They are people that like to work in such manner, install and forgot. So if some equipment was installed many years ago, this equipment worked with all these years in the same way, in the same mode. But usually it's not optimal mode. It's extremely not optimal mode. But for chief engineers of the buildings, it's okay. And it's a main challenge to show them that something can be done in different way, and after that to prove them that our controlling our operation is safe and secure, and wouldn't cause any issues, any problems, and so on. So it requires usually piloting phase.
Okay, how do you convince them, that's the case? I think I do see that challenge across many solutions related to energy efficiency, whether it's energy efficiency. I think the other one is clean energy monitoring, for example. How do you convince, the likes of Schneider to essentially connect through API with your solution?
Yeah, it takes time, but first of all, we usually say, let's try, let me show you. So let's do pilot. And during the pilot, you can communicate, you can convince, you can show the value from our solution. And we offer them something like that. Install our software and you can leave your work in time. Because it's not only operations, not only controlling, it's a constant monitoring of the whole HVAC infrastructure. We can find leaks, we can find any broken sensors, broken pipes, broken valves. detects and creates a reporting about any like issues in the whole building infrastructure. And it's very important for and very valuable for chief engineers. And yeah, after some time of operation, we can decrease the efforts to do the job.
Okay, my last question.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. With the 3 million you're raising, how much revenue are you targeting next year and the next 2 years?
We are planning to have about $3 million of revenue at the end of the next years, and then grows at least 100% year to year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Tim, I think you're up.
Yes, sorry. I think you had to answer a lot of questions already, so I'm going to try to stick to one. For me, like the main interest is like, what is the one key that really sets you apart? Like, is it like the technology? So because in the end, if I'm understanding correctly, you connect to the data that is already there and you make use of that data, right? And you help them analyze and understand kind of, I don't know if it's via AI, if I understood correctly. So how do you, like, what's your unfair advantage in comparison to everyone else? Because if I'm a company that's already, I don't know, for example, connected to all the buildings, like let's say I build elevators, I already have the connections to all the real estate companies. I have the connections, and then I just hire really, really amazing data scientists, and they build a software. Like, how can you kind of compete with that? How do you set yourself apart?
About competition. There are a lot of players on the market, as I see. There are a lot of completely ineffective buildings. We came to the first 30 buildings from our contract, and what we see that there are no just simple steps to reduce energy consumption. So there are a lot of efforts to do something like smart controlling of some equipment, and but all these things are implemented in very new buildings. But you know, most of the buildings are old in this world, and we can improve old buildings without any hardware retrofitting, because hardware retrofitting is a huge headache for landlords, for contractors, for vendors. Nobody likes that. And we can improve the energy efficiency of existing buildings in very simple way. Just install small software gateway, put all your data in our cloud, and receive command in real time, receive command to your equipment, take your savings.
Thank you.
It's very easy and instead of working with big vendors.
Are there any network effects or moats? So does your data and algorithms get better the more buildings you have in the system? Or is that going to be very building and location specific?
As I said, all buildings are different, and our algorithms can adapt themselves to any building, and we have the single code base, we have the single software, but it can work on any building and adopt themselves to each building.
No, I get that. What I was wondering is if it gets smarter with each building, and it sounds like it doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So, for instance, if you had 1,000 buildings, would your system be X% better than someone else who started this?
I understand. Thank you. Yes, in some way, yes, but it's not so important. There are no network effect as in like in social nets. So we don't need to be installed on thousands of buildings to be extremely efficient in terms of controlling and providing savings.
And there's no IP other than your kind of trade secret algorithms. Is that right?
We have like patent application on the part of our algorithms, but mostly it's a combination of approaches from open articles. My previous background is I'm scientist, I'm physicist. So when I started this business, first I like collect all existing information about optimal controlling, and yeah, we create a combination of best algorithms that work well on practice.
Why not just license that to the big players then? If they've already got the buildings and you've got the algorithms.
I'm not sure that if I correctly understand the question, but I believe that it's no issues with licensing. We created like we don't create and don't use open software, open realization. We create our own realization of algorithms that were published in open press, open scientific articles.
No, I understood that. I meant it might be interesting if there's already players that are serving these markets or have BMSs or other systems, rather than trying to come in and sell to those existing systems or other ones. Just allow them to integrate your system into theirs in a white label or whatever process.
Yeah, we are in negotiation with some of them. We have meetings with Honeywell and Schneider Electric, but they decided that we are too early for like some type of acquisition or white labeling, and so
okay, understood.
provided, yeah.